Hi guys, it's Cindy Lyon with Greetings and Memories. I am starting a series today that I will be doing for the next few weeks. It's geared more towards our beginner stampers, but if you've been around a while, don't tune me out because I hopefully will be sharing some things so that you'll learn a new trick or two as well. This series is going to be called The Basics. I hope to introduce you to Stampin' Up! Products and cover the basic things that you need to know to be a successful stamper. Tonight we will be talking about the different kinds of stamps. Those of you who know me know that I was a demonstrator several years ago when the only thing that Stampin' Up! Offered was red rubber stamps mounted on wood blocks. Well, they made several changes during the time that I was away. So tonight I want to show you the different types of stamps that Stampin' Up! Has to offer and some tips on how to use them. So I'm going to flip in the catalog here a second and just show you some things that you'll want to look for as you're looking through the catalog. I'm going to show you here that the two main types of stamps that we offer are the photopolymer, which you'll see here, this particular set, Grace's Garden, is 12 photopolymer stamps. And then we also offer cling stamps, which are the red rubber that we're used to, but rather than being mounted on wood blocks, they have a cling mount and work on the clear acrylic blocks. And the Positive Thought stamp set is one of the red rubber cling mount stamps. And I'll be using that one for you tonight. So I just wanted to show you that so that you know when you're ordering which type of stamps you will be getting, because you don't actually have a choice. It's they tell you which ones you're going to get that way. So that was the first thing I wanted to tell you about. And first I'm going to demo with our Cute Fruit set, and that is one that is featured in our beginner catalog. We know that the main annual catalog has a lot of stuff in there. It can be kind of overwhelming for someone who's new to stamping. So part of what I'll be doing with this basics series is boiling it down to the things that you need when you're starting out. And this particular catalog does show some different sets that are versatile for the beginner to use and can be ordered as a set with everything you need. You would get the stamp set, you would get the clear block, you would get some Whisper white cardstock, and then while I will be using full-sized ink pads to demo tonight, you would get some of the little Stampin' Spots with that. And let's see here, I do have a couple here that have come with some of my paper pumpkin kits. So these are what the little Stampin' Spots look like. And those are nice if you're just getting started or you don't have a lot of room to store your supplies, or you want to take them on the road with you if you're traveling. Those little spots are good for that. But anyway, just to get back to our clear stamp set, the photopolymer, they're ready to use as soon as you get them. You just need to peel that out of the way. And this particular set is a two-step Stampin' set. And what that means is that there are two parts to complete the image. So we're going to put that little bit there. And something else you can do with these clear stamps, especially if you're doing multiples of the same thing, making holiday cards or invitations or whatever, you can mount stamps on both sides of the block just to make your stamping go a little faster and easier. So we're going to do that. And one thing to note is that you don't get any cushion on your clear stamps like you do with the red rubber. So something that you can do, a little tip I wanted to share with you to help you get a little bit better crisper image is you can add a little cushion while you're stamping. What I've got here is actually the divider sheet that comes in the clear block storage case. And I'm going to just slip this underneath my grid paper here to give me a little bit of a cushioned stamping surface. But if you don't have that little piece to work with, something that you can do is in the catalog, we have something called the Stamparatus that I'm not going to get into right now. It's kind of a gadget that helps you with your stamp positioning. But one of the accessories that's available for the Stamparatus is this foam mat. And you can use that to cushion your clear mount stamps, and that's available for only $3. So that's just a little tip I thought I would share with you. So I'm going to do just a really quick, simple note card tonight just to show you. I'm going to use some of my shaded spruce ink, which is one of the spots that comes with that set out of the beginner catalog. And this is a brand new, very juicy stamp pad, so I don't have to press hard to ink up that stamp. And what's nice with the clear is you can get perfect positioning. And I'm going to line that up on my grid paper there to help me get that straight. And just a quick stamp, and there's the rind of my watermelon slice. And then I'm going to pull out one of my real red here. This is actually one of my old tried and true ink pads. It's 15 years old and it's been re-inked, but it's still going strong. And we'll just ink up our red watermelon there. And now, because I have the clear block, I can look right through there and line up the inside part of my watermelon slice with the rind. And there's that. Clean those off quickly. One thing to note with the clear photopolymer stamps is sometimes the darker red and purple inks will stain your stamp, but don't worry about that. It's not, doesn't damage it at all. That color doesn't transfer. It's just absorbed into the clear stamp a little bit. And then I'll use a little bit of basic gray here. And I'll peel these off and put them back on my sheet for storage. And you see how it's got the designs printed on that clear sheet, so you can see where everything goes and make sure you aren't missing anything, you haven't lost anything along the way. And I think I'm going to use my sentiment here that says, "You're one in a melon." And the other thing with the clear stamps is that you can line that right up on your grid paper, except I need to put it the other way around. Yep. Can line that, sorry if my head's in the way, line that right up on the grid paper, and then do the same with your block, and make sure that your block is straight, and then that way you know that your sentiment is going to be straight when you stamp it. Ink that up with my gray ink there. And we'll go ahead and stamp that right above our watermelon slice. And there's one quick and easy note card done, ready to go. And we'll go ahead and put this back in here. And I'll pull that pad out from underneath, because the other type of stamp I want to show you with this is what we call the cling stamps, or the red rubber. And I don't know, some of you may remember back in the old days when we had to cut out our stamps and cut out our labels and mount everything on the wood blocks. Well, now what happens is that these are die cut, so you just pull that right out of the backing. Now, some people will go ahead and discard this extra rubber. I tend to leave it in the box because then that way I know if I'm missing anything when I'm putting my things away, particularly if I'm stamping with a group. So these do have a little bit of assembly required because they come with the cling labels on a separate sheet. And how that works is you'll see that that's kind of split in the middle there. And you'll go ahead and peel those two halves off. And you do want to go ahead and do it from the center, because if you try to peel it from the side, it might not work properly. I had a little bit of trouble when I was first learning how to do that. And then there is a backing on that stamp that you want to peel that off. And see how that does have the built-in cushion? You know, I talked about the clear stamps don't have any cushion, but the red rubber does have a built-in cushion. And then you want to carefully line this up. And I do say carefully because once it's stuck, you're not moving it. You don't want to accidentally drop your stamp and have it stick on there crooked, because you will have a heck of a time fixing it. Don't ask me how I know that. So I'm going to just kind of line that up there at the bottom and kind of look, make sure my edges are lined up, and press that down. And then peel that back. And this is the sticky mount that you will use to mount that on your clear block. Oh, and something I didn't mention when I was talking about the photopolymer, those are kind of self-adhesive, but after you've used them a lot, they might start picking up a little residue, oil from your fingers, whatever. If they start to get where they're not sticking very well anymore, just take them to the sink and wash them with a little dish soap, and that'll bring them right back good as new, so they're nice and sticky again. Just wanted to make sure you knew that. Now these guys, be careful because it is very sticky when it's brand new. When you take it off the block, you want to be careful that you're not tearing it. And then again, that will be not something you really have to worry about so much after you've used the stamp a little bit more. And then for this one, make you another little note card here. We're going to still go ahead and use that shaded spruce green ink and ink this guy up here. And we're just going to do another real quick and simple card. And I wanted a little bit lighter green this time, so I'm going to stamp off. And clean this guy off here. And then I'm going to bring in a sentiment from that set, the Positive Thoughts set. And let's see, which one do we want to use? Let's do sending positive thoughts and feel good wishes. And again, I'm going to use that grid paper to kind of line myself up. And this time I'm going to use some black ink for the sentiment so I can stamp over top of the green and you'll still be able to read it. And just another quick and easy note card using the Positive Touches stamps. So those are the main differences between the two. You will need to mount the labels on your red rubber cling stamps, but otherwise good to go. If you do happen to have some of the older stamps that came on the wood blocks, or some of the very first stamps that Stampin' Up! Offered without the wood blocks that have just lost their stickiness, they're not sticking to the clear blocks for you anymore, we do offer something. Let me see if I can make sure I'm giving you the right name for it. Yeah, it's called cling adhesive. Simple enough. You can order that product called cling adhesive, and what it does is it gives you little strips that you can stick on your old stamps so that they will stick on the clear blocks for you, and you can use them just the same as you would the new ones. A couple other things I wanted to point out with the stamps. Something else that you'll see when you look through the catalog is you'll see this symbol that says reversibles. And what that means is that you'll receive a photopolymer stamp that you can use both sides of the stamp to produce an image. I'm sorry I don't have one here to show you besides just showing you the catalog image. But like with the jar here, if you use one side of the clear stamp, you'll just get those little outlines and the watermarks there. But if you flip it over, and yes, I have ink all over my fingers. If you flip it over and mount it with the solid side up on your clear block, you can ink that with, like Pool Party or a color like that. That's a kind of a watercolor. And you can use that then to stamp on top of that outline image and make it look like your jar is filled. Something else I wanted to point out is that we offer outline images. Something like that you would want to stamp probably with a black and then color it in. And we'll get into that another time about the different ways that you can color in the outline images. But that's something that you'd want to do that way. Or like maybe you would have something like the Today's Tiles here that's a solid image. You wouldn't want to stamp those in black probably. You'd want to use the different colors for that. And again, that's a two-step stamp too. You can see over here where they've stamped one portion of it with a darker color, or a lighter color rather, and then they've gone back with the second layer and stamped that in a darker color. So hopefully I've answered any questions that you've had about the different types of stamps and how to use them. If I have left any of your questions unanswered, leave me a question in the comments or send me a message. I'm usually around. Actually, I will be traveling during the month of August, so I may not have internet access available at all times. I'll be in northern Michigan, and it can be a little spotty up there, but I will do my best to answer as soon as I can. I will be checking in when I do have internet access, so hopefully you guys have learned a little something tonight. If you are new to stamping, or if you have friends that are new to stamping, go ahead and like my Greetings and Memory page so that you will see upcoming videos. Invite your friends to like and follow so that they can see too. And again, thanks for joining me. Any questions or comments, drop them down below. Thanks. See you later.